And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Download, January 24th, episode 111. We got a pretty awesome show for you guys today. Fortunately, my co host Melanie is not here because this is pre recorded very early because I'm live from Orlando and things just didn't work out. But anyway, lots of great content. Go to ritualmotion.com, check it all out, especially our March 2nd Creators on the Block conference. So you can register for that. And of course, go to rexopportunity.com and download the daily download right in your inbox, and you can get all the stories that we are going to be discussing and more. Okay, let's jump right in. Gaming story at Forbes called "The Metaverse is the Web3 wave that democratizing buying and building real estate, hosting fashion shows, etc., monetizing video gaming." The article really goes on about sort of this whole very virtuous concept of the metaverse being it's open to everybody and everyone can buy and sort of start from scratch. Um, and it's interesting to think about, today. Look, society has built up our cities over the past hundreds of years. um, Someone coming in right now doesn't really have much of a chance to be a big real estate mogul or something like that. Not to say you can't, of course, but it's very hard. So in the metaverse, essentially, you can start from scratch. That's the gist of the article, and it's definitely true. It's definitely something to think about. However, I'm always very cautionary when I hear people talk about the metaverse. It's really not a singular concept; it's a plural concept. The metaverses or metaverses. So I think that's just an important thing. Is maybe, but maybe you will in some of the metaverses, but maybe you won't in some of the other ones. And I think for gamers who've really have grown up inside a metaverse for a long time, it's not really a new concept, but it is for the rest of the world. So I think it's interesting, but again, I don't really think it's going to democratize. We don't. I think it's too early to say that it's really going to democratize some of these things. Um, Also, yeah, in the article they mentioned sort of some of the in-game items and things like that, and I'm very curious. I'm really curious if can Rolex sell $1,000 Rolex or no 5,000 or $10,000 Rolex? What's the price going to be for digital items compared to the actual real world items? And I think if that does translate well, it just reinforces the power of the brand. That if Rolex can now, again, Rolex is expensive partly because of the brand and partly because of the craftsmanship that goes into each watch and the materials and everything. But now, could they sell the same thing for close to what they sell the real one for in the metaverse? Definitely would be very interesting to see. Anyway, moving on. Another story: Call of Duty QAs are working towards a vote to unionize. Quality assurance. These people are testing games, and they've really been this sort of group of employees that have been given the shaft. Typically, they'll come in, they'll do their work, and they're kind of the first to get cut or laid off. Especially in the Call of Duty ecosystem, where you have essentially sort of usually three game developers working on games in different cycles. And there's definitely been a lot of sympathy coming from others in the community that this group here of QAs are not treated fairly. And so I think that unionizing is interesting and definitely would be very much supported, I think, by the overall community. I think it's also interesting, how does that fit into the general union protocol of Activision Blizzard, but maybe more importantly into Microsoft. So you typically, you don't see big tech as being very pro union. Um, it's just the case. I don't think Amazon has been notorious in terms of fighting it, and many others. So we'll see how that maybe would shake out in a potential bigger acquisition. Want to jump into, again, not a lot of news today, so these are the best ones. But definitely, Phase. There was so much hype about this Phase announcement. What's going to happen? And in the end, yes, they're offering $1 million in crypto to find a new recruit. So previously, this is not new. Orgs, including Phase, have done these sort of reality style shows to recruit people, but this one I think has a little bit more cachet because of the money involved, and it's crypto, and the fact that it's one. There's gonna be one member that's going to join this year through this process, and that they're opening it to not just gamers. That's what this is really cool. So you could be a performer, a recording artist, a lot of different types of, you could be in different things, have different skills aside from just being a good gamer or streamer. And of course, I should mention you will be getting, yeah, $1 million from MoonPay, crypto, and a Nissan luxury car and a $250,000 brand deal with G Fuel. That's a pretty awesome prize. That's like what do you win on The Bachelor aside for a proposal, a like proposal, or Survivor. I feel like these reality prize pools are usually quarter mil. Really, you don't really see a mil. That's plus. So this is like really like 1.25 mil at least in contracts that you can win. So I think that's pretty awesome. Um, Team Liquid is buying the Limit Guild as it pushes into World of Warcraft. So if this is interesting, I think because guilds, well, whether it be in World of Warcraft or other kind of play to earn ecosystems. I've actually started to see them starting to reach out for cash and investment, and now we're seeing that there's acquisition there. So there's really a lot of value that you could be created by building guilds, and I think this could be, kind of like everyone has their own esports team 5 years ago, 3 years ago, and right now it's like very popular vertical to be in. I think starting a guild is going to be the next one. And it definitely validates it with that Team Liquid acquisition. Um, and we'll finish it off with, oh no, we got two more here. Two more I want to talk about. Uh, Bringing Activision games into Game Pass could help both sides. And it kind of seems, well, is it obvious that it helps both sides? I think it does. And this is a good article that really sort of supports that. Other industry execs like Mike Sepso, the Vindex CEO, people are sort of expressing their support for crossplay and for it to be on both platforms. And I think it will. I mean, there is that potential that maybe Call of Duty could go to Xbox only, but I think if you're free to play, you're not really free to play if you're only on one system. So I think it's obvious, right, that Warzone would never be an Xbox exclusive. Do we all agree that Warzone would never be an Xbox? Sounds like I'm not the only one. Other people are weighing in on that. Last but not least, we have um, oh yeah, the esports owners reacting. So owners reacting to that, and I think the sort of consensus was surprise and support. This deal, a lot of them said it came out of nowhere. They had no idea, so they kept this really under wraps. Like for a deal like this to have no rumors, even for the heads of big orgs to not know that this was happening. So we saw, um, quote from Adam Reimer, who's the CEO of Envy Gaming. He said we are definitely surprised, and he was on CNBC talking about that. So kind of good that they kept it under wraps, and sounds like there's a lot of support for this deal, which I already told you I don't think is going to happen. But anyway, that is the daily download for January 24th, 2022. Don't forget to check out ritualmotion.com for all the great content, rexopportunity.com for the daily download, and have yourself a great day.